Water doesn't always flow. Sometimes it stays still for long periods of time. And in that stillness, something remarkable happens. We tend to think of water in motion, don't we? Rivers running, rain falling, taps flowing. But much of the water that sustains life on this planet just moves when the wind blows. Lakes, reservoirs, ponds, kettle holes left behind by glaciers thousands of years ago. Seasonal pools that appear with spring rain and then vanish by the time the summer arises. Each one a world of its own. And these systems are not waiting to become something else. They already are something essential. Standing water bodies vary enormously in depth and chemistry, in species they support, in how they respond to changes in temperature and land use. We measure them over years and decades. Water levels, dissolved oxygen, sediment layers, and biological communities. What lives in a prairie wetland differs entirely from what lives in an alpine lake. Both, however, are dependent upon conditions that shift, sometimes gradually, sometimes quickly. The data accumulated over time is how we learn what these systems are actually doing. We tend to notice water when it overwhelms us, right? Floods, or when it disappears altogether as droughts. And those events indeed command attention. But most of the time, water's simply there. It's just ordinary. It's in the background. And it's in those ordinary times that the slow changes happen. Water tables drop. Reservoir pools disappear. Seasonal pools fail to refill. And the species that depend on them adjust, move, or they don't survive. By the time the change is visible, it's often been building for years. The National Water Conservancy exists because water systems need to be watched continuously over time by people who understand what those numbers mean. Measurement precedes understanding. Understanding precedes action. And that sequence cannot be reversed. We don't have to wait for a crisis to pay attention. We already have the tools. We already have the science. What we need is sustained observation and a public that understands why it matters. Protecting water just doesn't begin with emergencies. It begins with knowing what you have. We invite you to become aware and understand more about water and the practices that help us conserve it. More importantly, we ask, what actions will you take to help us protect, conserve, and manage our nation's waters? We ask that you continue to watch these YouTube videos as we continue to discuss water. In addition to these YouTube videos, we invite you to also read our blogs in the nationalwaterconservancy.org, and that's all one word, nationalwaterconservancy.org. See, water is life. That's not just a slogan, it's a fact. Water is life.